Hey, my name is Nic Dinh. Today we're going to be discussing about the American identity. To me, American identity is about the different cultures, ethnicity, and races from different parts of the world. Today we're going to interview two different people, one from North Korea and South Korea, and another one from South Africa, and I hope you enjoy. Salam alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. Arabic has some of the most difficult pronunciation. I'd say besides like Mandarin. Because like, it's just a bunch of stuff with your throat.
Like a lot of...
Yeah, a lot of...
Alright.
Sometimes even I'm grasping at straws when I try to say stuff, you know?
So, what country are you from?
Morocco.
Are you only fluent with your native language?
No.
So, who did you immigrate with?
My dad moved from Morocco to Chicago in the late 80s, and then once he decided he was going to have a family, he moved down to Texas.
Did you know who you left behind?
Yes, my dad is the only person who came to America. The entire rest of my dad's side of the family is in Morocco.
Why did you leave them?
For my dad, it was more of an opportunity because our family is very diplomatic. They work with the Moroccan government very closely. So my grandfather, God rest his soul, was a diplomat of Morocco, and so were a couple of my uncles. So my dad was offered by my grandfather saying, I can get you to go to America. Do you want to take this opportunity? And my dad said yes.
So how do you feel when you left your family behind?
My dad tells me for him it was kind of lonesome, but he found a community in Chicago because there was actually quite a few Moroccan people there who had moved from Morocco and emigrated to America.
Do you know why specifically when you immigrated to America?
My dad was just looking for opportunity and just to be able to create a better life for his future family.
What was your life like before immigrating here?
My dad lived in the central city of Morocco, which is Rabat, the capital, and he lived in a apartment with his 7 siblings and my mother and his mother and father, and he was studying at high school and got a college degree in biology and then decided to leave.
And how about after immigrating?
After immigrating, he was very fresh off the boat in Chicago, and he lived on the south side, so he actually got in a little bit of trouble a couple times, if you can imagine, because, you know, it's just this random guy, and he doesn't look African very much. He looks more Spanish, and he's very light-skinned, so he actually had, like, a bit of a trouble with some gangsters back in Chicago.
Did you ever have a chance to bring your family back to America?
There have been a couple times, very recent times, you know, with like the ban of Middle Eastern countries. It's just not worth going through the hassle, so we just go back to them instead of them coming to us.
Has immigrating make you happy?
I think it definitely has given me a lot of opportunities. The fact that my dad came here, I mean, I wouldn't even exist if my dad came here because my dad met my mom in Chicago.
Was being a citizen here hard?
There have been a couple run-ins with some really racist people, but the most major thing I can remember was I was at a fundraiser for a mosque and there was an armed protest outside, but it was really funny because they weren't going to do anything.
What were your first choices after being a citizen?
I think my dad first had to decide like what job he would have to get and like what he was trying to do there, because it was a moral journey for him because, you know, he could work at a gas station, but like one of the things in Islam is like you can't drink alcohol, and like selling alcohol to somebody is like you're enabling them to commit that sin. So that was like he had to make that decision of like, do I want to compromise my moral values or do I want to get this paycheck?
Was it hard getting the job?
For him, he had to look around for a while, but eventually he was able to start out as sort of a hotel janitor.
He had an education.
Yes, he had he had a bachelor's degree in biology, but since it was a Moroccan college degree, it wasn't really accepted in America, especially at the time. This is the late 80s, so, where there aren't those international school programs that we have nowadays.
So he had an education in Morocco.
Yes.
Did he get an education here in America?
It took him a while, but eventually he did. 3 years ago, he graduated with a master's in business administration from SMU, and he currently works at SMU.
Was your country a developing country, or was it already developed?
Morocco is definitely a third world country. It's by no stretch of the word has a very great economy.
How hard was it to immigrate here?
For my dad, it wasn't very hard because he knew the right people.
Did you move to America because it was a developed country?
I think, yes, very much so. He moved here because he knew it was developed, and he definitely had the idea of the American dream.
Did anyone in your family try to immigrate to America?
Besides my dad, no. There hasn't been anybody that's tried to emigrate here permanently.
Where else did you immigrate to, state-wise?
So my dad stayed in Chicago for about 6 years, where he met my mom and they quickly got married. And then they moved back down to...
So how did people treat you when you first immigrated to America?
Back in the 80s, it was before 9/11 or anything like that. So he was just another normal guy. He was fresh off the boat and was a foreigner. So people treated him differently in that aspect. But besides that, there was nothing different.
Do you regret your choice of immigrating here?
My dad definitely does not regret moving here, and I'm very glad that I get the opportunity to live in Texas and pursue what I want to pursue without having to just look for money or trying to scrape by. Because he feels like he has been able to truly provide for us as a family, and compared to some of my cousins, he just thinks that he's been able to do better for us than his parents were able to do for him.
Do you have any more facts about your immigration of your dad?
My dad definitely really climbed his way up and lived the American dream, because he went from just a hotel janitor, and then he went on to move up, and he thought the highest up he would move is just to become the hotel manager. But then he moved on to Accenture and some other businesses, and once he moved down here, again, he had that moral conflict: do I take the job or do I keep my morals? And he got a job at SMU, where he was an event coordinator, and then now he's a facilities manager and has worked that job for about 7 years now.
Do you think you still have the work ethics like your dad?
For me, I'm not as hard of a worker as my dad is, but I definitely aspire and try to do what I can to prove to him that him being here was meaningful and he was able to do something great for his kids. And I'm not in college yet, but with the path my brother's on, he's been very successful, and he's looking to make some very good money as a career when he moves out and everything. And I think it's just made my dad really proud, all the things that we've been able to do.
Do you know what you're trying to pursue as a career?
Yes, I want to be a game designer.
Well, thank you for your story.
안녕하세요. 제 이름은 서환이이고
제 이름은 서명현입니다.
저는 한국에서 왔고 이것은 제 이야기입니다.
안녕하세요.
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 What is your name?
My name is Henry So.
And your name?
My name is Rin.
What country are you from?
I am from Korea.
Are you fluent in your native language?
Yeah, I was born there and then I grew up until I was 16.
Who did you immigrate with?
With my mom and my younger sister.
Sister?
Yeah.
Who did you leave behind?
Actually, I left my all my mom's side's cousins and aunts, and my girlfriend there.
Why did you leave them?
Well, because we had to, because we had our own reason, like any other immigrants.
How do you feel about leaving them?
I feel sad and for them and for myself, because we cannot meet each other like very often.
Why did you immigrate to America?
The main reason was opportunity, like any other immigrants. Like in Korea, the economy is shrinking, and like young generation is losing their opportunity to spend their dreams, and otherwise America is the opposite way. There is a lot of opportunity here. It's easy to learn something new.
What was your life like before immigrating?
I was homeschooling when I was in Korea, and then my family was pretty poor, and even though there was support from government, it was not very easy.
So difficult for you?
It was very difficult.
How about now? What was your life after?
Now, I feel better because I feel like living cost in America is cheaper than Korea.
So your life was overall better?
Better because I eat a lot here.
Did you have the chance to bring your family back to America?
No, because they're too conservative to start new things.
Has immigrating make you happy?
Yeah. I think overall my life kind of improved in every way.
When did you become a citizen here?
I am not citizen here yet.
Oh, you're not a citizen?
Not yet, yeah.
Do you think this process is hard for you?
It is hard because everything I go through is new to me, and then all the languages I encounter, everything's hard. Yeah.
So if you were a citizen, what would your first choice be?
I'll be happy if I become a US citizen, but I haven't thought about what I'm gonna do when I become a citizen.
So South Korea, right?
Yeah.
Is it a developing country?
I would say it is a developed country.
How did you immigrate here?
We were planning to immigrate here before, like 3 years before I left Korea, and then we went here with like visiting visa first, and then we changed into the permanent residency.
Was it hard to immigrate here?
Coming over here was not that hard, but like adapting here, learning English and then going to school was pretty hard, because when I just landed here, my English was not that good.
So was it hard for you to get like a job?
Yeah, job was pretty hard too, yeah.
Did you move to America because it was a developed country as well?
Yeah, we kind of had like American dream in Korea, and
What was the American dream to you?
to me, actually the primary goal was escaping South Korea.
Escaping?
Yeah, because I actually didn't have any hope there, because without any money, like it's really hard to study there, because it's very competitive.
So how was it hard to escape South Korea?
It was hard because I left like my people in Korea, and then learning new language, everything.
What state did you immigrate to?
Texas.
Texas?
Yeah.
When you immigrated to Texas,
Mm-hmm.
did you and your family like get a job immediately, or did it take time?
No, it took time to settle down. So we brought money from there, and then we kind of spent little by little.
How did people treat you when you first came to Texas?
I actually, I usually met Korean people first because there was no opportunity to meet like American people because we're too timid to go somewhere new. We usually stayed in Koreatown, and then Korean church. Yeah, they welcomed us.
So was there like a small amount of Korean people, or was it like a big group of Korean people?
Just small amount of people.
Do you think it's expanding?
Yeah. We're making new friends. Yeah.
Did you try to get an education when you first immigrated?
Yeah, I watched all the YouTubes that teaches us like daily English, like daily conversation. And as soon as I landed here, I tried to go to public school.
Do you regret immigrating?
Immigrating? I don't think so.
So if you would, move back to South Korea, would you?
I wouldn't. No,
Not
I
at
was
all?
gonna stay here. And then I learned English here, and I study what American people are teaching. And if I go back to Korea, I need to learn from the beginning because what they teach and what American teach are different.
Do you have any future plans?
I'm planning to major in nursing
Nursing?
right now. If I were in Korea, I wouldn't think about becoming a nurse or any other medical field professional. No, because it's very competitive. There are so many smart people.
You said the education is very competitive.
Yeah, it's very competitive.
Like, you had to like pay your way in it.
It's such a small country. The territory is like 1/3 of Texas, and then there are like 50 million people are living there.
All right. Well, thank you, Henry.
All right, no problem.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.